my name is Ruben Main, and this is my magazine proposal. Through my research, the beginning of my coursework, I researched on Vibe and XXL magazine. This is so I can get a better understanding of what kind of magazine I want to do. And as I had the front cover, which allowed me to understand how I'm going to structure mine. I also looked at the XXL Media Kit, showed me the demographics of what kind of audience who is appealed to the genre of these magazine, which is hip-hop and R&B, mostly rap, I'd say. So the genre I decided to go with is grime. I initially was stuck between choosing grime or hip-hop, but I ended up going with grime because it's what I listen to more, and I think there's more space in the market for a magazine that will also promote this genre, which is also going to promote young and upcoming artists. The masthead, at first I didn't know what to choose. It was my biggest problem, but then in the end I decided to go with New Waving. But before that I did have an idea which was called The Streets, but I didn't really think I could work around it. So when I had my induction on Illustrator, I decided to go with New Waving. My audience is through my research on XXL. I did research on what audience generally listens to rap music, and through the demographics, I found out it's more of a male genre. But for my magazine, I wanted it to be both male and female. So I did see the statistics favored more the younger generation through your late teens to your early 30s. So I decided that my magazine would be targeted to 16 to 30-year-olds. My distribution company, I decided to go with Town Square Media because when I was doing my research on XXL, I saw that Town Square Media was their distribution company, and I know that XXL was a well-known magazine, and they're quite known throughout the magazine industry. I also thought that the price of the magazine should be $1.99, and this is because of my target audience, and specific to my target audience, because they are specifically a young audience. I wanted it to be affordable, but yet I wanted it to be profitable. My front cover stars, I was thinking about it. I was thinking it to be more, let's say, catered to the genre and more audience specific. So these are just some of the artists that are quite unknown in the genre. So we have people, we have both mixes of both sexes. We have female artists such as Paige Keiki, to male artists such as J Hus. Contents for my magazine, I thought I'd want it to be more unique, but also because it's probably one of the magazines of its own kind, I would adopt some features from XXL and Q. So XXL have their category of each year that they do of the new freshman class. So for the grime magazine, I decided to do something similar, so that at the end of each year there would be a class of who's the most recognized artists of this year. So which would have been shown throughout the magazine. Also, I thought of the magazine would be weekly, so they would have weekly weekly advertisements of whose music's out this week, and how they've been progressing through the year, what songs have been out, have information on their EPs and things like that. My colour scheme, because I'm going for grime, I thought I'd go for black, red and grey, but I didn't think I could make that work, so I had other suggestions, which was grey, white, and blue, grey, black, and blue. But that's still something I have to decide on. The colour scheme is something I'm not too sure about because with grime, it's more, because grime is rap. Rap has a very negative look to it, but some of the artists that will be advertising on your art don't really rap about negativity. So I would think of adding bright colours, which why I thought of grey, white, and blue. And the colours don't really connote darkness and negativity. That's it.
Thank you. Lovely. Right. While we've got the colours up there, can we start with colours? Also, if your target audience is young, what do you like? Young people? I perfectly like bright colours. What do you think? What colours appeal?
If we're on colours, what is it about? So grime led you to black, red, and grey. Was that right in your mindset? And I don't listen to grime. I don't know a lot about it myself. What is it about it that represents that tone?
Well, like I said, when the stereotype of rap would be normally the lyrics will be quite negative, and my first colour that I thought of was black, and that's because it connotes darkness and sun's watered. Red, it could be both. It could actually go for both. It's I wouldn't say it's a neutral colour, but it kind of balances out on both negativity and also it's kind of a vibrant and bright colour, so it stands out. The grey is also in all three colour schemes, and that's because I actually think that it would work because of grime. I think the masthead itself is going to be the colour of it is going to be grey. So,
when you said you were trying that one out for a little while, when you were experimenting with it in your head or whatever it was, what was it that made you think it wasn't quite working out so well?
Because if the traditional three colour scheme is going to be black, red, and grey, I didn't think that if the front cover was quite dark, it wouldn't really be appealing, I'd say.
You think, well, because red's too bright?
No, it's because if I was to have black and red, it'd be kind of, so if I'd make the background black and the writing red, it would be bright, but it's got a dark background, so it wouldn't work. And because grey is also a dark colour, it wouldn't really work if it's got black in there.
I wouldn't worry about it from that perspective because it does stand up quite. It depends how you use it. But I would say a lot of what we see today, a lot of what magazines do use is that colour scheme, and that might be an issue. You might want it to stand out a different kind of way. You might want it to stand out in its own light, and it can almost be ironic to go for a kind of cleaner or fresher look, such as what's implied by blue and white or blue and black. I'm actually behind using one of those last two. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
Those shades of blue or one that you said also you want to try and appeal to more females as well, don't you?
Yeah.
So what's the best way to do that?
Well, also, I'd say it's like I had on my slide, having more female grime artists. So like I had Paige Keiki, Lady Nisha, Miss Dynamite, and can't remember who else I had there. But I want to use more variety of female artists to build more to the female audience.
But in terms of your cover style, you can even choose females.
You said that you wanted to aim the target audience to about 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
What makes you think that a 30-year-old would pick up a grime music? Because obviously you looked at XXL, and that's more of a rap genre, not a rap genre. So if you like to link it quickly,
But grime is rap, so regardless of what you're talking about, the genre overall is still under the rap category. Plus, for my research, I did see that the demographics for the age groups that see, that actually listen to rap goes up to 30, the percentage is higher, up until 30-year-olds.
Similar to what we brought up with the gangster rap one that we started with, is there enough within grime specifically and isolated that would bring in that market?
Sorry?
Sorry, that was poor at describing that. Is grime enough without the rest of the rap subgenres to stand out on its own, to bring in enough?
I think it is because grime is actually up and coming. There's many artists within grime that have actually started to come worldwide. Like, for example, Stormzy. He's won many awards. He's now coming to become world known throughout the world. He's had tours through America. So now I think not just him but other artists themselves, it's going to be now more of an upcoming genre. So many people would actually buy it, and because it's probably one of the only magazines of its kind, it will be quite out there in the market. It's unique.
Brilliant.
I thought you said the younger target audience. You said, yeah.
Nice.
No, the target audience is from 16 to
Oh,
30.
from 16